all. If this is your first time here, please know these are prescription glasses. I said, but get used to it. I wear different glasses all the time. I really wanted to get a good angle or a full angle so you could be able to show my shirt. I think all of this is coming together in good timing. I'm covering Please Baby Baby Please. Kenya Barris thanked ABC for being able to release this episode. It is on Hulu. Feel free to check in if you can. I don't know if you can find it at abc.com, but I had a heck of a time, and I can tell you now, excuse the movement, um, yeah, I'm bigger than you thought. And I'm okay with that. I promise you, I'm not one of those easily offended because I'm bored or some stuff like that, or because I'm just not any different. Anywho, this was, and I can't even find the episode. Okay, I thought it was like season 5 or something, but whatever. Apparently, hell, Hulu is not going to work with me. The theme, I originally had what I considered this theme to have been, and now I can't even recall what I was going to say. And it's unfortunate because I feel like this could have been useful in capturing like the different, because it's a family of what, 5, and then the granddad, once you add in everyone, and how just being black in America is received, internalized, how we manage it, what do we do for ourselves, those kind of things. I'm looking away from the camera because I am looking at the TV, so I can give you the season and the episode number. I'll probably end up putting it in the title. Excuse me if I sound more dry than animated or livid than I usually could be, but I've already shed my tears. Yeah, I may not be sensitive, but I do cry easy enough when it's a social justice matter or something of real consequence. So to me, that's still a social justice matter. Here's the thing. In this episode of Please Baby Baby Please, I think I normally wear like a dress to bed, especially when I'm not in my own or I'm handling other business. And then, like I said the other day, it's just like my house dress, whatever. But last night, something changed. I really wanted to put on a shirt. Here it is, and I actually like this shirt. I bought it on purpose from Target. It identifies Ida B. Wells, Miss Maya Angelou. Fannie Lou Hamer, I think, is my woman crush, if there's such a thing, for a real civil rights activist and hero. But I'll just call her a hero. Harriet, of course, Miss Tubman, Sojourner Truth, and that's it. So I think this shirt speaks volumes for our people in recognizing the women who's had achievements, whether it's publicized in our books, whether it's discussed often or not. I feel the need to always highlight Fannie Lou Hamer and things she's done. The achievements of Shirley Chisholm that I didn't always appreciate in one regard. Like, okay, she was the first black woman. Okay, and but once you learn more about that time period in the ERA, the fact that women as a whole, let alone black women, but women as a whole couldn't get credit cards without their husbands signing off on it. Yes, I don't mean 1872, 1972. Literally, what is that, 48 years ago? Sounds far away, but I know you have a sibling or a cousin, somebody you know who's born in the 70s. Me, I'm on the cusp of it. Like, if you're an 80s baby and we're just showing up, you're showing up at the tail end of a lot of things. I mean, we should be grateful. And not to get all on a tangent, but let's go with this. I'm going to try and weave and flow, or ebb and flow. A lot of this episode and my family's information without being super detailed. For instance, I remember when Trump got elected. I don't know what y'all were doing, but I was in Southeast United States. Not super Southern, but Southern light. Because I'm from the deep South. So to me, this was Southern light. And I used to go, oh, you know what? I think I need to move to the suburbs. I really want to have that Southern feeling for my family to be able to experience, but without going home. I just left the Midwest for my desired place to be. And I cried because I sincerely worried, okay, how would mental health care look in a Trump's administration? How would support look in a Trump's administration? I actually told myself then, this is 2017, oh, I need to lose weight. Because I already know healthcare is going to be bleh. And I know how disparities work. So disparities, those are the things that give us hard empirical data that we research through sociology, statistics, or statisticians, and really smart people, even in economists and finance guys step in, but usually accountants and the like, to be able to gauge in a capita system, per capita, how many people in the area are then impacted by systemic rules or unwritten rules that keep them limited in education, healthcare, economics, meaning buying a house, maintaining employment, well paid, and above minimum wage employment, because everything above minimum wage is not well paid. And just discussing even disparities in the prison system, which is where my background is. And in working on identifying the disparities in the criminal justice system, you learn, oh, shit. And I learned all this in 2007 for certain. Like, this was no longer speculative. This wasn't, just some homespun knowledge. This wasn't just a polite story to tell. There are real numbers that support the disparity rates are impacted by so many other things. So if you want to talk about someone in prison, to me, because you may have that conversation with somebody else, it ain't going to be me. But we need to talk about how education gets handled, how healthcare gets handled. What does the family unit look like? How does it impact, in terms of access to clean water, clean air, access to housing, redlining, restrictive covenants. These things, if you don't know what they mean, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to explain in detail or give a link so you can cite somewhere else. But there are written rules, and have been within the United States of America for more than, I know the earliest in Minnesota was 1909. I know and it's set the foundation under Woodrow Wilson's president's administration. You have former President Woodrow Wilson, for Federal Housing Authority to come in and codify, meaning make it law that not only can blacks not live over here, and at that time it was black, Jews, and something else. I can't remember right now, but I'll get back to it. And it wasn't just enough to say you can't live in this certain side. I mean, they basically paid developers and said developers couldn't get loans. You can go build all the houses you want, but how can you build it without the loan from the bank? The bank was not going to approve you because the Fed said we can't approve you because you're building just random houses and allowing anybody to purchase it. These people went so much further in Hennepin County, Minneapolis, Minnesota. So don't be shocked by this George Floyd stuff that's going on and what's happening. But at the end of the day, it's been on the books that if you, as a Caucasian, decided, well, I'm just going to sell my house to whoever gives me the most money, and it happens to be a black family, they had rules on the books, actually legal laws, that said, okay, you can sell it to them, and we're going to take whatever profits you have. And if we can't take the profit from you and give it back to the original builder, then we will hold it in like a trust and disseminate it through the city. Y'all, home ownership and resales are like, I don't know, to the core of civilization. If not, let's just say American, westernized civilization. That's just what you do. You know and I know, if you sold something, you want the full benefits of whatever you sold. Nothing else in between time. So going on with, and I'll use my notes, because I think the music in tonight's episode was really nice. I wanted to make the correlation. I think all of this is coming together. I had one of the most asinine conversations with a local guy in Nacogdoches, Texas, who's proud to be ignorant, basically. And then me wearing this shirt and actually watching this episode, it just made me feel like, okay, you know what? God's timing is always in charge. You don't have to agree. You don't have to believe. You don't have to worship. I'm okay with that. I'm just speaking from my personal vantage point. And I'll go for my notes. So then y'all see why I keep notes and why I keep things organized, because otherwise I'll get to baby talking on a tangent, and then you have to bring me back, and then I'll start citing legal cases and the things I've experienced and yada. So Andre, which is the father in Blackish, if you know, Anthony Anderson, is married to Bo. He's basically in bed, wide awake, and everybody's tossing and turning. And he's, at a crossroad of, I think the thing is, my family is in a position right now, and I feel less of a man because I just can't help them get out of this position. The position that the family is in, worry, fret, distraught, and just, I don't know, straight shame and full fear. And it's worth talking about because you can see on both sides. I mean, we can diminish anyone who feels like I talked to young man this morning who's from Nacogdoches, Texas, who wanted to convince me like he just thinks different. Like, no, you think like a bigot. There's nothing else to talk about. And I'm real clear about that, y'all. You may not be racist, but by definition, you dang on well is a bigot. So can we just stick to what the words are in the book? You don't like it, then go petition Merriam-Webster to make the update. It's your people who wrote it, not mine. And I love how he even pushed back the guy last night, and then I'll get back to Dre. When I would say things, I was like, well, I don't know, the Caucasians make this real clear. And he was like, who? Like, honey, you so proud you think so different. You're not going to rope this all into, oh, the blacks. So it's always the blacks, but it's never them whenever there's a conversation. And it's amazing how we become a monolithic group of people, meaning black people in America, somehow have no cultural differences, no diversity of thought. We're just one and the same, Yeah, I bucked my eyes. Hopefully that scared somebody. And we just had a public issue about that when Biden was speaking to the Hispanics and Latinos, and it made his words just fail him at that time. But it's one of those things. My best advice to Joe Biden, please stop talking before the campaign day. Yep, we can get political on this one. Because here are the questions I have for this episode, and y'all tell me. Dre is worrisome as a husband, as a father, as a provider, as a protector. How do I manage and protect and help my family? What do I do? What do I say? I don't know how to fix this, and I'm at a loss. And we all are kind of scared. And they work it through the eyes of he has to calm a crying baby down. But the crying baby represents one of 5 people who are impacted in the household. The youngest, the newborn, the twins, Junior, his father. So 6 people, and Bo is 6 and himself would make 7. I think I need to start over.